Have you ever heard of the Apocrypha? These fascinating texts were originally considered part of the Bible, but were later removed due to their controversial and mystical nature. In this video, we'll explore the Apocrypha and its 14 books, including Tobit, Judith, Wisdom of Solomon, Sirach, Baruch, and 1 and 2 Maccabees. We'll also delve into the Book of Ezra, which provides unique insights into the end times and the mysteries of creation. Finally, we'll examine the role of Thomas Cromwell in printing and distributing the Great Bible, and how his manipulation of the text reveals his true character. Join us for a deep dive into biblical history and uncover some of its most fascinating stories. The Apocrypha. The Apocrypha is a fascinating collection of writings that offers a glimpse into the religious and cultural practices of ancient times. These books were written between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE, and were originally considered to be part of the Bible. However, during the Dark Ages, the Roman Catholic Church decided to remove them from the mainstream Bible, citing their controversial and mystical nature. The Apocrypha consists of 14 books, including Tobit, Judith, Wisdom of Solomon, Sirach, Baruch, and 1 and 2 Maccabees. These books offer an alternative perspective on biblical figures and events, and provide insights into the religious beliefs and practices of the time. They also contain stories of angels and demons, visions of the afterlife, and prophecies of the end of the world. The decision to remove the Apocrypha from the Bible was not an easy one. The Church was concerned that these books could be misinterpreted, leading to heresy and schism. Additionally, the Church wanted to maintain a certain level of control over the narrative of the Bible, ensuring that it was interpreted in a way that was consistent with Church doctrine. Despite being removed from the mainstream Bible, the Apocrypha has continued to be read and studied by scholars and religious enthusiasts alike. Some Protestants include it in their Bibles, while others consider it to be an important historical and cultural artifact. Regardless of one's views on the Apocrypha, it remains a fascinating and often overlooked aspect of biblical history. The Book of Ezra. The Book of Ezra is a fascinating apocryphal book of the Bible that provides a unique perspective on the end times and the mysteries of creation. This book recounts the life of the Jewish priest and scribe Ezra, who lived during the Persian Empire in the 5th century BC. According to the book, Ezra was given a glimpse into the mysteries of life on earth and the future of God's creation. The Book of Ezra is often compared to the Book of Revelation because it also contains visions of the end times. However, the visions described in the Book of Ezra are less intense and dramatic than those in Revelation. Ezra saw 7 visions of the apocalypse that were milder in comparison. The apocalypse described in Ezra's visions was a calmer version of the one described in the complete Bible. The Book of Ezra is an interesting read because it offers unique insights into the mysteries of creation. Ezra's visions reveal a world that is beyond our understanding, yet they also provide a glimpse into the workings of the divine. Through his visions, Ezra gained a deeper understanding of God's plan for humanity and the world. Ezra's visions are not only intriguing, but they also provide hope for those who believe in God's promise of a better world. His visions suggest that although the end times will be difficult, they will ultimately lead to a better future. Ezra's message is one of hope, and it reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there is always the promise of something better. In conclusion, the Book of Ezra is a captivating apocryphal book of the Bible that provides unique insights into the mysteries of creation and the end times. Its visions of the apocalypse are less intense and dramatic than those in Revelation, but they still offer valuable insights into the workings of the divine. The Book of Ezra is a must-read for anyone interested in the Bible's apocryphal books and the mysteries of creation. Thomas Cromwell's deception. In the early 16th century, Thomas Cromwell served as the chief minister to King Henry VIII of England. Cromwell played a significant role in the English Reformation, which saw the separation of the Church of England from the Roman Catholic Church. As part of this movement, Cromwell was responsible for printing and distributing the first official English Bible, called the Great Bible. The Great Bible was a monumental achievement, as it made the scriptures accessible to a wider audience in England. However, Cromwell's involvement in the production of the Bible was not entirely altruistic. He also used his position to change the balance of power and solidify his position as the king's right-hand man. Cromwell's manipulation of the Bible was a prime example of how he used his power to advance his own interests. What's even more shocking is that Cromwell's face is not the one we see on the title page of the Great Bible. He copied and pasted his face onto someone else, using an artist who painstakingly edited each and every Bible that came from the presses in France. This deception was a clear sign that Cromwell was not above using dishonest tactics to achieve his goals. He wanted to be seen as a champion of the Protestant cause, and having his face on the cover of the Bible was a way to cement his place in history. But this act of self-promotion came at a cost. The manipulation of the Great Bible was not the only instance of Cromwell's deceitful tactics. Throughout his career, he employed a variety of underhanded methods to get what he wanted. For example, he used spies and informants to gather information on his enemies, and he was not above using blackmail to achieve his objectives. Despite his questionable tactics, Cromwell was a highly effective minister. He oversaw a number of important reforms in England, including the dissolution of the monasteries and the establishment of a system of poor relief. However, his successes were ultimately overshadowed by his downfall. In 1540, Cromwell was arrested and charged with treason. His association with Anne of Cleves, the woman who had been chosen as a wife for Henry VIII but was deemed unattractive by the king, had made him enemies at court. Cromwell was executed the same year, and his legacy was forever tarnished by his association with the king's failed marriage. Despite his eventual downfall, Thomas Cromwell remains an intriguing figure in English history. His contribution to the English Reformation was significant, and his impact on English society cannot be overstated. However, his manipulation of the Great Bible serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and ambition. The Wisdom of Solomon. The Wisdom of Solomon is a fascinating book that is often overlooked in discussions about the Bible. According to historical accounts, it was written by a Jewish person living in Alexandria, Egypt, a few decades before the birth of Christ. The book is divided into 3 main parts, each of which offers valuable insights into human nature and the mysteries of life. The first part of the book delves into the importance of wisdom and how it plays a crucial role in the governance of the earth. It emphasizes the need for people to act righteously and become the sons of God, a notion that is central to many religious traditions. The author argues that by doing good deeds and living a virtuous life, one can earn immortality and eternal happiness. The second section of the book focuses on King Solomon, who is described as having mystical powers and unparalleled wisdom. Solomon is renowned in the Bible as one of the wisest and wealthiest kings in history, and this section of the Wisdom of Solomon provides further insight into his life and teachings. The author also discusses the power of wisdom and how it can help one navigate the challenges of life. The third and final part of the book deals with the final judgment, a topic that has fascinated people for centuries. The author uses a variety of metaphors and allegories to describe this event, which he believes will ultimately determine the fate of all human souls. Although the book is often criticized for being vague and metaphorical, its teachings continue to inspire people around the world. Despite its fascinating content, the Wisdom of Solomon was not included in the main Bible by the Catholic Church. This decision was likely due to the book's esoteric nature, which made it difficult to interpret and apply to everyday life. However, the Wisdom of Solomon remains an important piece of religious literature, offering valuable insights into the mysteries of the universe and the nature of human existence. Lesser-known Bibles. Apart from the Apocrypha, there are other lesser-known Bibles that are equally fascinating. The Slave Bible, used by British missionaries to convert early American slaves to Christianity, was edited to omit every story of rebellion and to remove around 90% of the Old Testament and 50% of the New Testament. The Gutenberg Bible, the first book ever printed using a printing press, and the Codex Sinaiticus, one of the oldest known Bibles, are also noteworthy. The Bible of William Tyndale, which was the first Bible printed in English, and the Jefferson Bible, a book created by Thomas Jefferson that removed all of the supernatural elements from the New Testament, are equally fascinating. Lastly, we discuss the Green Bible, a modern Bible that highlights verses related to the environment, and the Manga Bible, a comic book version of the Bible that was created in Japan. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the fascinating and mysterious world of biblical history. We hope that this exploration has piqued your curiosity and encouraged you to learn more about the hidden secrets of history. Don't forget to share your thoughts and knowledge in the comments and subscribe to our channel.